So I don't know about anybody else, but I have noticed a slight but gradual shift in, I guess you'd say, a negative perspective towards legacy map offerings in DBD. Now, when I consider legacy map offerings, I am considering the four original realms that were created. So that's Macmillan, Autohaven, Coldwind Farm, and Asylum. Those maps to me are just personally some of the most appealing to play on. I think they represent just generally like what DBD is and what are some of the most balanced maps overall. I think they also represent just the original design choices of the game, whether it's map balancing or aesthetics. Those maps to me just represent DBD, especially, back in the day. So generally speaking, if I'm ever going to use a map offering for myself, I'm going to use a legacy map offering. But even if I think this map offering is going to be an innocent usage on my part, it apparently is not the case for some killers I have encountered, especially over the last couple years, I would say. So I was playing Survivor the other day, and I decided to use some Macmillan offerings as I typically would. And I ran into a killer who decided to play essentially as boring as possible. He tunneled the first person he could out of the game, and it just overall was not a fun, pleasant match of DBD. So I decided to comment in the post game chat that it was the most boring game I've had this year, which is still true to this moment of recording. And he replied back saying to not bring map offerings. And I thought that was a crazy comment to make. Personally speaking, I was under the impression that Macmillan was seen as one of the most balanced realms in the game. There's a couple trouble spots, of course, on a few of the maps, but generally speaking, it's pretty fairly balanced, all things considered. So this interaction got me thinking because I just personally can't find the justification to say a Macmillan offering is the reason why I'm going to tunnel somebody out of a match and just play as boring as possible. So I can only think of like one real theory as to why people would think this about like any legacy map offering. Essentially, my theory is that people who see these map offerings are under the assumption that anyone who brings a map offering into a game is just gonna sweat their ass off. They're gonna play really sweaty. They're gonna, they're practicing for a comp match, or they're doing a public scrim. It's just something where it's like I don't know how the two equate because it's not how it is all the time. Like sometimes people just like using map offerings, like myself. I could use anything. I could use RPD. I could use Gideon Meat Plant. I could use Eerie of Crows. The list goes on. It's just there's so many maps that I personally think are way worse to play on, whether as killer or survivor. And it's just one of those things. I just don't understand it. I am genuinely just not understanding how anything makes sense here and why legacy map offerings are seen as such a negative thing in this game. So I don't know. I'm just kind of curious if anyone else has seen this or, witnessed, or if you believe that legacy map offerings are, this evil thing. Please, I'd love to hear because I'm having trouble understanding why such a what I would believe an innocent map offering or offerings are being seen as such a negative thing. Um, I don't know. I'm open to ideas because I'm at a loss with why people are thinking this. So that's all I got. Rants over. Thanks for watching and listening.